According to the Food and Agricultural Organization, you probably think of chickens crammed in cages no bigger than an A4 sheet of paper. In 2023, 34.4 billion chickens. A world where chickens roam freely, living in harmony with nature, up to 300 per year in these harsh conditions. May seem like a utopian fantasy were raised globally. Most of the chickens are forced to lay has been in operation for many years. In Yangshan, Guangdong Province, mountainous regions, a unique method of raising chickens among the various free-range breeds thriving in Yangshan, but it's a reality in parts of China. The Yangshan chicken is renowned as one of Guangdong's 8 finest breeds, featuring a blend of 3 shades of yellow thanks to their organic corn diet. They reach maturity after 4 to 5 months of roaming the hill. Yangshan chickens are muscular and easily distinguishable by their distinctive plumage and usually weigh in around 2.5 to 3 kilograms. Capable of living at altitudes from 8 to 1500 meters above sea level, are also raised in these high hills and mountains. Apart from Yangshan chickens, other chicken lies in the bird's living conditions. The stark contrast between free-range and caged chicken basking in the sun and foraging for food. Free-range chickens spend their lives roaming open hills, a natural existence that promotes their physical and mental well-being, usually only around 100 to 120 eggs a year. However, they don't produce many eggs, and they are also smaller in size, weighing around 40 to 45 grams each. The more active chickens also produce a more flavorful and firmer meat that turns bright yellow when cooked. But all of their eggs are tastier, higher level of omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals. Hatchery or breeding farm. The ideal temperature for incubation mountain chicken farming begins with high-quality eggs from a The journey is around 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit. It takes around 21 days for the chicks to hatch. In large-scale hatching operations, such as this one in Mingshui County, with humidity levels ranging from 55 to 70%, Heilongjiang Province, China, up to just 5 years ago. Once hatched, the chick used to only hatch 70,000 chicks. You see, the demand truly increased because this 1,000 chicks are hatched yearly in order to provide insulation and warmth to 10 centimeters of disinfected chaff or straw, typically transferred to brooder pens, normally located in a windproof and well-ventilated sheltered area. Before welcoming the newborn chicks, farmers line the pens with the pen measures around 3 square meters, so continuous lighting will keep them warm enough to eat and drink. During the first 2 to 3 weeks, chicks are unable to regulate their body temperature effectively and will fit 100 chicks. The chicks are still very weak, so farmers will keep everything clean. Farmers will offer them clean, lukewarm water mixed with wash their troughs twice a day and also give them electrolyte supplements and 6 to 8 small meals per day, as prescribed by veterinarians. As chicks grow, organic food sources such as greens and forage are also provided. On a favorable day, the chickens are in order to get them used to the food on the mountain, to build an online customer base in order to increase sales. Farmers follow and livestock. The hills where the chickens roam are dotted with trees onto the hills early in the morning, where they spend almost all of their day. The diet of free-range chickens is providing ample shade and opportunity for the birds to play and even catch insects as their surroundings, and are fed outdoors like this. In the summer, farmers hardly feed. Some farmers get creative and encourage their chickens to run because there is so many grasshoppers around by feeding them behind a moving car compared to their caged counterparts. Studies from Our World in dates 57 to 70% less pain and suffering have shown that free-range chickens. To encourage egg laying, farmers construct simple nets. The EU plans to ban the use of any cow, recognizing the benefits of free-range practice by 2027. In the mountainous regions of Xinjiang in northern China, laying their eggs in approximately 30 chicken barns using bamboo, wood, or leaves. Over 50,000 chickens roam across 200 hectares of hills to save space and mimic the mountainous terrain. While most chickens prefer to lay their eggs in their nest, their barns and sleeping areas are often designed like this, built right there on the mountain tops. To ensure no eggs are missed, a few may choose to lay them under trees or just right here on the ground like this. Diligently check the barns and roaming areas to collect the eggs one by one, 2 times a day. Despite their large numbers, manual labor remains high in order to provide jobs for the locals in rural areas. Farmers with around 7,000 chickens can yield up to 9,400 eggs each day. Inspection and sorting process. To preserve the natural protective layer on the eggshell, once collected, the eggs undergo they are only lightly cleaned. Workers carefully place the eggs into cardboard or plastic trays, ensuring that they are well protected during transportation. Large-scale free-range egg producers, local markets, and pre-ordered customers. These trays are then loaded onto trucks and delivered. Often have their own on-site packing facility, are willing to pay a premium price, typically 3 to 4, capable of packaging up to 74,000 eggs from all the nearby farms. These fresh, high-quality eggs are then distributed to the supermarkets and retail outlets, where when weather conditions are unfavorable, cost as little as $1.25 to $2 per dozen. Cage eggs, such as extreme heat or cold, the chickens are brought indoors and interact with each other. A typical free-range chicken barn, while indoors, large barns still provide to ensure their comfort and well-being is maintained, with enough room to stretch their legs, perch on platforms. And of course, regular clean water is a must for these active chickens. Combining locally grown ingredients from their hills with feed pellets. Some farmers prepare fresh feed daily, can comfortably house around 600 chickens, and foxes may pose a threat. The location of free-range farms is carefully chosen to minimize the risk of predation. However, in some cases, natural predators such as potential hiding places around the barn. They also build sturdy fences and regularly check the areas for signs of predator activity. To protect their chickens, farmers remove bushes but free-range chickens typically weigh between 1 or eaten. The exact weight at harvest varies depending on the breed, and if predators are caught, they will be 2.4 kilograms. While lighter than their caged-raised counterpart, free-range chickens have more muscle mass and less fat. Chickens are harvested in batches and transported to slaughterhouse. In large-scale operations on this farm, chickens are selectively caught on the hills and transported with a capacity to process up to 15,000 chickens per hour to facilities on cool days to minimize stress and heat shock. Chickens are stunned either using gas or electrified water baths to render them unconscious. These facilities ensure a smooth and timely operation. The chickens are then bled, passed through a hot water bath at around 55 degrees Celsius, automated feather removal machine. The legs and internal loosens their feathers, which are then removed to ensure thorough cleaning and sanitation. The carcasses undergo multiple washing stages. Many processing plants offer whole chickens are then removed and packaged separately, packaged with their internal organs. These whole chickens are typically, for those who prefer convenience, chickens can also be cut at around $9.23 per kilogram into various parts and packaged in trays. Quick and easy way to prepare chicken meals. These pre-cut portions offer black ash cheese, Humboldt fog and yogurt with a, and although goat meat is twice as expensive as beef and goat milk products. Creamy and easy to digest, goat milk has long been made into many specialties of this country. 5 probiotics. These are all world famous. Demand for goat meat in the US has other meats in the typical American diet tripled in just 2 decades. This is simply because it's delicious but super low fat. Though the US is the of other carnivores in North America, importer of goats, making a profit from goat farming here isn't easy. And today, their range is expanding at twice. Many livestock were killed by coyotes in the past, and goats to meet this booming market. And how do they raise more than 2.5? So how do American farmers solve this problem? If you've ever visited a goat farm, you might be impressed. But not all goats are like that. How friendly they are, like little dogs. Except in the fall from late August to rather aggressive and domineering. So farmers usually separate them from the herd. Male goats or bucks. January, the goat breeding season. When their pelvic ligaments loosen up, farmers know they are about to go into active pregnant for about 5 months. Female goats or nannies, the average mortality rate for kids is 10 to 18%, and mama goat can finally relax. Goats have a high twinning rate, but according to studies, with the farmer's dedicated care, the newborn baby an antibody-rich colostrum, which nannies secretes only in the first 36 hours after birth, a few hours after giving birth. The risk of death for nannies is also high, is an essential nutrient to reduce this rate, meaning blood poisoning and even death. After about 8 weeks of bottle feeding, the kids are castrated completely. Otherwise, it can cause septicemia. Must ensure that the placenta has been delivered 3 pounds per day, but breast milk can no longer provide enough in breeding. Now, they gain at least about 0 nutrients for this growth rate. So farmers have to take them out to pasture, are crossbred to produce more milk. Unlike in the past, modern dairy goat nannies can wean them. So their diet also requires more grains to provide enough energy. The first US goat dairy to be humane certified grows its own. That's why Redwood Hill Farm in California, protein and calcium. Just like other dairy, their milk flavor is what they eat, which is free from antibiotics and harm. This has helped them preserve the delicious milk flavor for over 300 dairy goats. Hormones for the past 56 years. Besides Redwood Hill Farm, there is also Cypress Grove Dairy. California has the most goat farm with a herd of up to 1,400 dairy goats in the United States. And so, the first thing other farms usually with this large number of goats. Traditional hand milking is impossible. They have switched to a modern milking system called pit parlor. They've tried different types of music, but this is the only type that the goats enjoy and don't startle when they're milked. But at this farm, they play jazz music is disinfect the goat's udders with iodine. This soft milking tube gently squeezes and releases. Each year, this farm harvests about 6,000 gallons of goat milk and may not even realize they are being milked. Similar to how baby goats suckle. The milking process only takes a few minutes while they are nibbling on feed. Over the past 4 decades, tons of cheese have been produced here and shipped across the country. The freshly harvested milk is then cooled and transported to Cypress Grove's renowned creamery. Goats were first domesticated in the Fertile Crescent about 11,000 years ago. But Humboldt Fog stands out in the international cheese as America's first soft-ripened cheese. Terrains and climates with their browsing. They are very good at adapting to, but it wasn't until the 17th century that they were brought to America by Spanish and English explorers. Therefore, traditional American plants over short ones, unlike other lines. This means they prefer to eat, often apply this multi-species grazing to both save feed costs and improve day. It is still practiced by many large of the pasture. Standing farms, such as white oak. This also helps reduce the risk of worm infestation in goats. In Georgia. With a herd like this, farmers have to rotate pastures every 3 days because they eat so quickly. They often target kids or even lone adults, but this is also when coyotes go hunting. You know, goats have very good eyesight, so they can go outside at night on their own. But this freedom also comes with a major risk. Coyotes. The goats themselves become less carefully installed when raising goats, separated from the herd. Hence, adequate fencing is always the first thing US. But as the number of goats killed by coyotes escape from pens, they are intelligent animals and constantly learn how to break fences. Stop them. Many US farmers have started 5 to 9 volts, which serves more as a sign the goats are mild shock, only from physical deterrent than physical harm. Electric fencing. These solar panels have helped reduce costs on large, while this may increase the electricity, aiming for sustainability. Besides daily work, farmers also have to do many other jobs on the field so they don't get sick. To ensure the best development of the goat herd regularly so they don't get sore feet, such as building shelters from the rain, which is hunting coyotes. And more than 67 coyotes found in one night on this farm. Rot. But that's not all. US goat farmers still have to do a rather controversial job. In 2015, 83,000 total goats that died that year. This number accounts for a whopping 65%. According to National Geographic, the died under the sharp teeth and lightning-fast reflexes of coyotes. This animal is thriving in 49 out of 50 states, but still can't control their numbers. Kills over 476,000 coyotes each year, and also gradually heading toward the western US. Protect the farm. They do this job very well. Anatolian Shepherds or Great Pyrenees are also professionally trained by farmers. So in addition to hunting, guard dogs loyal to the goat herd. Because they are naturally alert, know how to defend themselves when in danger. Many farms also keep donkeys. These protective measures have ensured that these here and weigh 60 to 80 pounds, they will be sent to a humane slaughter to grow up healthy. When they are about 8 to 9 months, some processing plants may use scalding. After removing organs and cleaning, the carcasses are stunned and quickly bled to minimize stress. Herring methods to improve carcass hygiene and inspected based on fat and muscle content. Finally, they can be cut into pieces. Then they are chilled to prevent bacterial growth, packaged and distributed to the market and imported $128 million. In 2022, the US exported $1.7 million of goat meat. The US has developed sustainably over the years, and that's how the goat farming industry, mainly from Australia. Therefore, there is still a great demand for goat meat in the country.